Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leszek Schuster. I am delighted to be able, together with Ms. Joanna Klęczar-Deodat, art historian, member of the jury of the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale, also coordinator of the recent 6th edition of the competition, together with Paweł Warchoł, eminent artist. It was actually his idea to organize the first Biennale. I would like to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, on this Friday evening. It is a special, unique situation for us in a time so difficult for us to be able to meet, and on behalf of the main partner of this undertaking, the International Auschwitz Committee, I would like to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all participants of this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, the coronavirus pandemic has made it impossible for us to meet here in Oświęcim, but we are delighted we are able to meet you perhaps in your places, in your homes, and to present to you our exhibition. I would like to present to you now the person without whom this Biennale would never occur, the curator of the International Exhibition, Mr. Paweł Warchoł. A very unusual way for me, I must admit. We are meeting in a very special way. I have participated in dozens of different Biennales exhibitions, and it's for the first time that I'm meeting guests online. It's unique, it's quite special, but I'm at the same time delighted that I'm able to be here in the room in which we have an exhibition of so many excellent posters. It's already the 8th Biennale, but we remember preparation for the first Biennale took us several years, so our tradition is quite long. I would like to thank first of all our artists, participants of the Biennale. In spite of very often difficult situations, they have decided to send their works and they've decided to participate in our Biennale. As usual, at this Biennale we've got a broad spectrum of different works that are making an attempt to describe our world. As the deadline was shifted, we also had artists referring to the coronavirus crisis. So very up-to-date works of art presenting or referring to different events of the recent few years. I'm convinced that this exhibition that we have organized here perhaps we'll be able, I do believe so, to organize it and present it in different places in Poland, also abroad. Hopefully you will be able personally also able to see the posters and recognize the different messages sent by the artists in the context of the recent 2 years. Of course, it's thanks to you, dear artists, that we have an excellent documentation of political and social events of the recent 16-18 months overall. It's our special documentation that can be found in your posters, your works that have been collected here in the International Youth Meeting Center. Yet another important thing, apart from artists, we've got a group of friends who have been supporting us, both artists, but also those involved in socio-political life. This is unique for us, and the place itself, the International Youth Meeting Center, is very special. Our surrounding, also the International Auschwitz Committee, the foundations, institutions of local government have been supporting us, and thanks to this support we're able to continue our work. Again, I'm very happy. In this difficult time we've been able to organize the exhibition. Many events turned impossible, but this Biennale shows that when we focus our strengths, our efforts, we are able, even in such difficult times, to implement such an undertaking that certainly is not easy. Ladies and gentlemen, before I ask the partners of this undertaking to take the floor, It is my great honor to ask Mr. Marian Turski to take the floor. We will establish soon a connection with Warsaw. I think there is no need to introduce to anyone Mr. Marian Turski. On the 27th of January, at the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, he took the floor and he spoke. His words, by many, have been seen as perhaps the most precise, the best diagnosis after recent difficult years. For many, his words, his comments made at that time, it was an excellent motto, excellent reference to the reality, surrounding reality. Marian Turski is a unique person for all of us, especially for our institution. He's not only a witness to the past, a historian, still today head of the history division of the Politica weekly, vice chairman of the International Auschwitz Committee, at the same time also member of the council of the Polin Museum of the History of Polish Jews. He's wearing many different hats. It would be difficult to list all of them, but for us he's part of our place, our home, member of our family. From the first edition he has been supporting our work. He is also interested in making posters popular among the general public. We feel honored to be able to listen to the words of Marian Turski. He will speak from Warsaw. Dear friends, dear participants of the 8th Biennale, there are many different ways in which the external world reaches the soul of the contemporary man. Some consider picture closer, more important, film, television. Others are more touched by literature, non-fiction. I must admit that as far as I myself am concerned, for myself, for my awareness, for the condition of my soul, if I can put it like this, it's music. Music is most important for me. Also poetry, that has an influence on me, and art. But when I speak about art, it's art, the type of art that is not too naturalistic, not too literal, the type of art that is not direct, and this is the type of art that I feel touched upon by the most, the feelings, the ideas. This is the reason why posters, the art of posters that I've been interested in for so many years, and especially here within this series of international socio-political poster biennales, the series that have been organized for many years by the International Youth Meeting Center in Oświęcim. So this type of art is especially close to my heart. Dear participants of the 8th International Socio-Political Biennale, it's a very special year. Unfortunately, the reason is the pandemic. Apart from normal, everyday conflicts, tensions, inequalities, those that are considered part of our everyday life, but additionally we've got another element. Well, I would call it metaphysical, actually. It has been known, of course, over the history of mankind, when we had the plague, that many times was a very serious problem for the whole humanity. And now people have come to realize how fragile our human life is. It is a big question mark for all of us, the one facing everybody. What is tomorrow going to bring us? This is the question we're asking ourselves. I think that you, ladies and gentlemen, participants of this Biennale, will be tackling this very problem. I'm very much interested in how you will deal with that. I would like to wish you success, much success, and I'm looking forward to finding out more about the results of this Biennale. Thank you very much. Mr. Marian Turski, thank you very much for those words, so important for us. Now we are moving from Warsaw to Berlin, and I would like to ask the next speaker to take the floor, Mr. Christoph Heibner, Vice Chairman of the International Auschwitz Committee and Chairman of the Board of the Foundation for the International Youth Meeting Center. He was one of those most important for the creation of our center. Many people, many institutions, including the International Youth Meeting Center, are in a very difficult situation because of the pandemic. What is most important, I think, is that the pandemic has been held this year. I'm delighted that so many artists have replied to the invitation of the International Youth Center, also with the participation of the International Auschwitz Committee, reacting against the current situation in the context of the pandemic, also the stupidity around us. But I would like to thank the organizers, especially Mr. Schuster and Joanna Klenchardeo, everyone involved in the preparation of this event. It shows us that art is going to help us overcome those difficult, dark days. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Heibner. Thank you very much. The International Auschwitz Committee, from the very beginning of the functioning of the International Youth Meeting Center, is our strategic content-related partner. All most important events organized in this center are usually organized in cooperation with the committee. Now, as the next speaker is going to be Mr. Holger Pollitt, the head of the regional office of the Rosa Luxemburg Foundation, Central and Eastern Europe in Warsaw. I would like to think back about my visit to Warsaw 16 years ago and our first meeting with Mr. Pollitt. I remember I was translating, explaining our plans about the Biennale. I felt much stress at that time, and then very quickly I was told that what we are preparing is actually also part of the mission of the Rosa Luxemburg Foundation. And since that time, all 8 editions of the Biennale would not have been possible were it not for an excellent partnership cooperation with the foundation. Not only the different editions, but also over 40 presentations all over Europe, in Germany, in many excellent galleries, Landtags, also in Luxembourg, in Belgium, in Hungary, and in Ukraine. Those posters have been presented. This is just an example of how our cooperation that have been lasting for so long, they strengthen our relationships of the organizers, but also it makes it possible, irrespective of the problems that keep appearing, to achieve together our objectives. Mr. Holger Pollitt. Thank you very much for those kind words, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be able to make those few comments to you today with regard to the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale, Creative for Human Rights. I am delighted that, in spite of the current difficult situation, the pandemic, the International Youth Meeting Center is organizing yet another edition of the Biennale. It is a very important form of an artistic exchange of ideas about important problems. As the Chinese saying goes, one picture is worth more than thousands of words. This certainly is what we need to remember about. Since 2006, thanks to the Biennale, artists from Poland and other countries have been helping us open our eyes to different threats to the democracy, to individual freedoms and international peace. The educational value of those activities is very high. This is a universal message that can reach everybody. I think the sound is on. Everything is fine, so let me continue. I have been witness, participant to the recent women's protests in Warsaw in late October, November this year, in this very difficult time. In spite of all difficulties, these were very creative, spontaneous protests, and they showed, from my perspective, a very important phenomenon. I was impressed by the creativity of those protesting. It was almost step one leading towards posters that we are exhibiting here. I have seen clearly humans, free humans, that live freely, free life. This is very important. Concluding, I would like to wish for everyone health, good health, and I hope we are going to meet face to face in Oświęcim next year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Polit. Now we are moving from Warsaw to Krakow. We are moving towards the most important moment, the culmination of our today's work. I would like to ask Professor Władysław Pluta to present the results of the jurors' deliberations. He is chairman of the jury of the Biennale. Professor Pluta from Krakow. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Mr. Director, Mr. Curator, eminent guests, ladies and gentlemen. As head of the jury of the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale in Oświęcim, it is my great honor to present to you the members of the jury and the laureates. The jury met in Oświęcim on the 6th of August 2020. Jean Theodor from the International Auschwitz Committee from Berlin and the International Youth Meeting Center in Oświęcim. Mr. Krzysztof Dydo from the Krakow Poster Gallery in Poland. Mr. Peter Groman from the Anstifter Foundation, Stuttgart, Germany. Madame Joanne Klenczak-Deodat, International Youth Meeting Center, Oświęcim, Poland. Dr. Sebastian Kubica from the Silesian University in Katowice, Institute of Art in Cieszyn, Poland. Madame Ewa Natkaniec, poster artist from Krakow, Poland. Professor Władysław Pluta, Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow, Poland, chairman of the jury. Leszek Schuster, the director of the IYMC in Oświęcim, Poland. Dr. Paweł Warchoł, curator of the Biennale, Oświęcim, Poland. 147 artists from 11 countries participated in the competition. From 307 posters sent to us by artists, 80 were qualified for the exhibition. The jury awarded the following prizes. The first prize goes to Szymon Szymankiewicz from Poland for a poster entitled Loading. The second prize goes to Katarzyna Nachman, Poland, a poster entitled Dog and Cat. And the third prize goes to Vladimir Cesler from Belarus. His work is entitled COVID-19, Stay Home. Mayor of City of Oświęcim, City of Peace Prize goes to Nikos Terzis from Greece for racism. The prize of the Starost of Oświęcim goes to Martyna Paluchewicz-Łabaj from Poland for Summer 2020. City of Dachau Prize goes to Marlena Buczek-Smith from Poland, United States, for Fragile. District of Dachau Prize goes to Lex Drewiński from Poland and Germany for Desinformation. The Anstifter Foundation Prize goes to Magdalena Wosik, Poland, for Le Monde. Professor Józef Hollard Prize, founded by the rector of the University of Silesia in Katowice, goes to Katarzyna Nachman from Poland for Captivity. The prize of Director of the Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow goes to Vladimir Cesler from Belarus for In Venus Veritas. Rector of the Academy of Fine Arts in Katowice prize goes to Yong Xiang Guo from China for Stop Talking Nonsense. The chairman of the Association of Polish Artists and Designers prize goes to Dominik Rug from Poland for Demokracja Polska, Polish democracy. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I congratulate all artists, all winners, and I wish you plenty of success in your future careers. Thank you very much, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, we will soon be able to see the posters that have been mentioned by the members of the jury. But before we do that, I would like you to present Izabela Walczybok from the Theatre of Motion and Sound, accompanied by our proven friends Jacek Hołbowski, Piotr Skupniewicz and Mateusz Pliniewicz. She will show her interpretation of the work of the artists in a symbolic way. She opened our today's event, and now we are going to present to you the posters that have received the prizes that have been mentioned just a moment ago. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we would like to take a look at the art of posters with an expert eye. Our expert who is joining us is someone quite unique. For many years she has been sharing with us her knowledge, her experience, her kindness. She's author of the introduction to this year's catalogue, also a number of previous catalogues of our Biennale. I mean, Dr. Maria Anna Potocka, director of the Mossack Museum of Contemporary Art in Krakow. The floor is yours. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me well. I'm having some sound problems, but I think it should be fine. Let me start saying that humans never know when they become tradition. I'm not expert in posters. Well, I've actually become some sort of expert of posters thanks to the Oświęcim poster Biennale. I've become almost an addict to this series of events. Leszek Schuster has asked me to make a brief lecture, not really a lecture perhaps, but how shall I call it? A brief, maybe provocative comment for the introductory session, the opening session of the 2020 Biennale. I remember the first time I participated in the Biennale. It was just after the funeral of my friend. Quite honest at that time, thinking this was not time to mince my words. I decided to treat posters as something somewhat distant to ordinary art, because posters are different from other works of art. Posters can be considered messages that are searching for contact with the general public. Since that first Biennale, I've participated in all the following events. I made different comments, wrote texts, participated in presentations in Poland, also abroad. With Władek Pluta, we participated in different lectures on posters, and it was a beautiful experience for me. So yes, it's true. I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot about the theory of posters as well, and now I'm actually very happy to be able to deal with the art of poster. Posters are very interesting interventions into the general life of the general public, the public sphere. The posters convey some messages, present comments outside, trying to establish some contact with people, with the general public, people who, moving around different public spaces, come across posters. Yes, it's a bit different in the case of an exhibition, a poster exhibition here in the International Youth Meeting Center. It's different as we are dealing here with an institution, a closed space, presenting posters. Some additional comments on that now. The International Youth Meeting Center in Oświęcim is an institution of very special purpose, destination. Its main focus is on making young people aware of the scale of the Holocaust, the different threats related. It often organizes meetings with survivors, meetings with historians, experts in this difficult history. And here, Leszek Schuster, organizing those different events, different types of events, very often related to private visions of different historians, survivors. He decided to introduce into the program of the International Youth Meeting Center something different, but also with a very strong educational value. Education is very often considered as something direct direct connection, direct link with those who learn. But I think when we speak about posters here and Biennale, it's even broader. It's about being critical about our everyday life, everyday thinking, how to see, how to notice the different important hot subjects surrounding us in a given period of time. I'm very fond of active education, indirect education that is less about spreading information, but more about creative inspiration. Posters can be considered tools for discussion, especially a critical tool, because as you can see also here at the exhibition, practically all of those visual and verbal presentations contain some critical messages, critical comments. Might be difficult. Well, of course, when we speak about advertising, it's about different. There is usually some optimism, affirmation in the case of advertising, but posters that we speak about, political posters, social posters, are usually critical. Very bitter comments are contained in them, comments about what are most important events surrounding us. One can say that each biennale of this type is also a certain thermometer for the contemporary world. If we were to divide this biennale into different problems, well, my comment perhaps from the point of view of a curator, it might be a good idea when preparing an exhibition of the posters, it might be a good idea to divide them into different groups, different types of problems that they deal with. This might give us an even better vision of the most important issues in the contemporary world. Maybe short notes, short additional comments could be contained there. Information that there is reference to ecology, for instance, of feminism, or fake news in the media, or reference to politics, intolerance, and so on and so forth. I think this would send an even stronger message if those posters were grouped into such different categories during the exhibition. And this Biennale this year contains a number of surprising elements. What I was especially surprised, certainly requires courage, plenty of courage. There are certain elements related to anti-feminism. In other words, some artists are saying that perhaps women are going too far, exaggerating in some elements, in some of the slogans presented. Just two posters like that. Another category I want to draw attention to is fake news and condemnation of fake news, something that makes people lost, those people with not enough knowledge, perhaps. Very many references of this type in the posters. Another category, this is something surrounding us, very important, the pandemic, of course. There are references to the pandemic, yet another category. And it looks like this approach, this type of thinking via posters is something that brings people together. Because today, during type of lockdown, isolation, perhaps some people had slightly more time available, but at the same time, it was not about time only, but it was very much about a need, very strong need to make one's voice heard, to be able to present one's attitude to the surrounding world. Something that perhaps is the reason for us, why we get so tired, so angry, feeling so limited, closed off. Many comments referring to this world in which we contact texting or sending pictures, messages. It shows again that posters are very excellent in bringing together pictures and words. People are looking for syntheses, those that can be found in posters, a certain communion of image and word, something that gives us dual strength to both word and picture when they come together. In my view, this is one of the greatest, perhaps, media achievements of the art of poster. Again, this cooperation, if I can put it like this, between words and images. Thank you. It's a great honor for me to be able to be part of this project. I do hope that we're going to continue, because I think there is nothing more important today, nothing more important than to make people critical about what is around us, what has impact on our activities, and what may perhaps lead us to failure, humanist failure, because I think we're very close to this moment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much Ms. Potacka, for your comments. I would like to invite you to last meeting with Izabela Walczybok and the musicians. This time she will be presenting her interpretation of the winning posters of this Biennale, the three main statutory prizes in the interpretation of Izabela Walczybok.
ten oto sposób
Thank you very much. We have reached the most important moment of our meeting tonight, the award ceremony of our poster Biennale. The first award is going to be presented by the curator of the Biennale, Dr. Paweł Warchoł. Hello again. I'm delighted to be able to present to you that the winner of the first prize of the International Socio-Political Poster Biennale, the 8th Biennale, Creative for Human Rights 2020. Very special year. The first prize goes to Mr. Szymon Szymankiewicz for his poster Loading. Congratulations on behalf of the jury, of everyone. A few private words perhaps to Szymon. I spoke to him. Dear Szymon, I'd like to tell you that although operating costs are going up, although some unexpected spendings are there, there is a need to finance different cultural institutions in Oświęcim, and in spite of the pandemic, the prize is already on its way to you. Congratulations. Our messenger is bringing to the winner our award, envelope with a banknote with the right value.
Mam nadzieję, że
I do hope that the distance between Oświęcim, where we are, and the artist's home is not very considerable, so let me give the floor now to the winner of the first prize, Mr. Szymankiewicz. The history of my loading poster, the history of the recent months in Poland. It starts and ends in Oświęcim. On the 27th of January 2019, on the anniversary of the liberation of the camp, where more than 1.3 million of Jews, Poles, Roma, and representatives of other nations were killed, nationalists marched here, saying it's time to fight world Jewry and free Poland from it. Then I thought about a poster that would show us this threat of fascism. Golden prize of loading was presented in Katowice Biennale, but then Madame Kozina told me that Jakub Chełstowski from the Peace Party decided not to present the 10,000 Polish zloty award. Some protested, but then the organizers said no, just send the catalogue and the award without the financial award. They were explaining, Chełstowski and others, saying that they need 10,000 to save culture in Silesia. Then they also saying that I was trying to promote fascism. This is simply censorship, sending us very clear message. Do not promote anti-fascism ideas, because it doesn't pay simply. Then in 2020, in January, Marian Turski says again in a well-known speech, do not be indifferent, because if you are, you will see that Auschwitz will come to you or your future generations. Then in the campaign before the presidential elections, Mr. Duda says LGTB is not people, not ideology. Peace members of parliament, including future member of government for education, Mr. Czarnek, they were agreeing with that. We've got more and more LGBT-free zones in Poland. Some people are beaten up as a result, and I presented Loading 2 poster showing that the swastika is loading even more. Now my poster has been given the first prize in Oświęcim. Thank you very much. I can repeat after Turski, let's not be indifferent to the women's hell related to the judgment of the Constitutional Tribunal. Let us not be indifferent to those stopped by the police after the gay and the lesbians, after women striking teachers. They will come to get us, whoever we are. Let us not be indifferent. Thank you very much, Szymon, for your message. And now I'm going to move on to the second statutory prize of the 8th edition of the International Socio-Political Poster Biennale. We are going to connect to Krakow, and I'm going to ask Dr. Michael Gross, Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Krakow. I'm even more delighted as our cooperation with the Consul General in Krakow and with Mr. Consul, Mr. Gross, thanks to his special sensitivity to the world of arts, and the importance here attaches to memory of Auschwitz. It results in a number of different joint projects we are implementing, among others, seminars for the disabled, also publishing activities that we do together, where we present the reports of witnesses of the past. Mr. Michael Gross, Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Krakow. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends of the International Youth Meeting Center, my first business travel this year was already on the 1st of January. In the evening of the 1st of January, I actually traveled to Oświęcim, the International Youth Meeting Center, together with the mayor of the city of Oświęcim, with Madame Potocka, Mr. Krynicki, and many other guests. I had the opportunity to listen to an excellent New Year's concert. Then after the concert, we spoke on a number of different ideas, common projects, plans for 2020. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, the year turned out certainly to be different than what we had planned. The pandemic around us, still serious in Europe, around the world, made us change our plans. Still, I am delighted that the difficult work of Mr. Heibner and Mr. Schuster, we have been able to organize the post-Biennale also in this year, very special year. I am very happy that, thanks to the generous support of the Federal Republic of Germany, we have been able to continue the work of the International Youth Meeting Center to support its activities. It was possible we succeeded this year in a especially difficult year, full of challenges. I'm delighted by that. I'm also looking forward to new meetings. I hope they will come in the new year, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our tradition that the second statutory prize of the Biennale is funded by the Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Krakow. I am delighted to be able to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that the second prize, the prize of the Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany, goes to Katarzyna Nachman for her poster Dog and Cat. Madam Nachman, congratulations. I do hope that the prize has reached Katarzyna Nachman already. Bielsko is not located far from Oświęcim. Now I give the floor to Katarzyna Nachman. I hope the connection is there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everyone. I hope the connection is there. I hope you can hear me, so let me say hello again. I would like to thank the jury for this very special distinction, the second prize in the Biennale for a young artist, youngest. I still consider myself young. This is something unique, a great honor for me. Thank you very much for that. Katarzyna Nachman, thank you very much. And now we are moving to the third prize. The third prize will be presented by Mr. Andrzej Tombiński, the former honorary Consul General of Austria, also the director of Rebau. He's been cooperating with us for many years. We are establishing again a connection to Krakow. Good evening. Let me welcome everyone. I am delighted to be able to see so many of you this year in those very special circumstances. Thank you for making me part of this unique Biennale. This is yet another event, yet another Biennale in which I'm participating. I feel grateful for the invitation you have sent to me to participate in this project of what is, I think, perhaps the most important or maybe the most international cultural project that is organized by the International Youth Meeting Center in Oświęcim. I've been following the different events and projects, cultural projects organized by the center, and I'm greatly impressed by the quality. I've participated in many of them, and I thank for that. I'm very grateful for being part of those projects. There was always much satisfaction involved. So the third prize this year has been presented to Mr. Vladimir Cesler from Belarus. I think that this is a very important appreciation of the artistic value of the poster, but not only, there is more to it. I think this work of art is also important because it is going to be presented to a citizen of Belarus. This is very important for me. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope our messenger has made it across the border and reached Belarus. Unfortunately, the artist was not able to join us tonight. We do not have an internet connection with him. He visited us 2 years ago. He was here in the center. We spent a wonderful evening together. We spoke about the relationships between Poland and Belarus. I think it's only because of technical problems that we are not able to meet him tonight. But I'm sending best regards on behalf of all other participants. Best regards to Belarus, all artists and all citizens of Belarus. Hopefully that the restrictions around tonight, hopefully they will be no longer there in the near future, in the coming months. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to move on to the next prizes, those funded by different institutions. Let me present also here and express my gratitude to our different partners. I am delighted now to give the floor to Mr. Janusz Chwierut, the mayor of the city of Oświęcim, the city of peace. He will present the verdict of the jury of the city of Oświęcim. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a unique evening for all of us. We had a chance to feel this special atmosphere of the Youth Meeting Center. For some of us, it was a long absence. We have not been in the center for quite some time. Well, I'm happy that we are meeting online at least. I am delighted that the director of the center is in good health with us. All the best. Hopefully we will all stay healthy. Let me state that what has been said already here, this special project, the socio-political poster Biennale, is of utmost importance in the international context, from the humanist point of view, but also for us, for the city of Oświęcim. The city of Oświęcim, also called the city of peace. This peace message is something very important for us, and this project is part of this very message we are sending from Oświęcim. I'm glad that both artists and the jury and organizers are running this very special project, our export project, if I can call it like this, export project of the city of Oświęcim. Because the message we are sending, apart from memory, apart from education, is also about culture, different cultural activities that shape especially the young generation. And art posters certainly have big influence, have great strength, that has been discussed by Ms. Potocka earlier. And I'm convinced that we will always be interested in supporting your future activities. Congratulations to artists, everyone who is involved in the implementation of this project. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the prize of Oświęcim, City of Peace, to to present it to Mr. Nikos Terzis, who represents Greece. There's a strong message from a different European country, from Greece, which shows this international dimension of our Biennale. Racism is the title of his poster. Thank you very much. I wish everyone more success in the future. I think in those difficult times, such events as the Biennale should give us more strength and more hope for the future. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our messenger, from what I know, at least from my satellite data, the messenger has reached Greece, beautiful sunny Greece, and we are connecting now to Mr. Nikos Terzis. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank you for giving me this special distinction, special prize in this competition. The city of Oświęcim is very close to my heart because of my Polish friends especially. I do believe that very soon we will be back to normal and we will be able to meet again. I'm sending my best regards to everyone. I wish you good health. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to present to you some important information I have been given today in the morning. I spoke to the winner of the prize. I spoke to Mr. Terzis, and he decided to present his award to our special educational and training center in Oświęcim. It's an old institution that started its activities in a new location. Let me also add that 8 years ago, during our Biennale, Mr. Terzis was here, and he presented his second prize at that time, also for this center, to help it overcome financial difficulties when it was building its new seat. And now I'd be delighted to again present the support, the prize of Mr. Terzis. Thank you very much for presenting your prize and kindly agreeing to support the Education and Training Center in Oświęcim. Thank you very much, sir, on behalf of the center and all teachers and students. Ladies and gentlemen, the next funded prize is related to the work of the Starost, the head of the county of Oświęcim, Mr. Niedziela. Marcin Niedziela, the floor is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are part of the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale, Creative for Human Rights. The Powiat County of Oświęcim has been supporting from the beginning the participants of the event. We have been supporting Mr. Warchoł, our artist from Oświęcim. There are so many important messages sent by the artist, clearly showing how important, how excellent the picture is in presenting our emotions, our ideas, our fears and concerns. I would like to especially send my best regards to Martyna Paluchewicz-Łabaj. Her work, Summit 2020, is the winner of the Starost of Oświęcim Prize. Excellent message with some humor, showing what summer of 2020 was like. I do hope that this typical mask will be but a memory for us when we start summer 2021. This is what I wish everyone. Thank you very much. Hoping again that the prize has reached already Martyna Paluchewicz-Łabaj. We are connecting with Martyna. Hello, good evening. I'm Martyna Paluchewicz-Łabaj. I've decided to record this short film because I anticipate some connection problems in the evening, so I recorded it beforehand. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this special distinction. And this is my poster, Summit 2020. I thank the Starosta of Oświęcim for his prize. I'm delighted, I'm very proud and very happy. Thank you very much for this prize. All the best. See you next time. If there is no one objecting, I would like to now try to connect to another country, Germany, the city of Dachau. I hope the connection is there. We've been cooperating with the city of Dachau. The city of Oświęcim is also a city that is a close partner of Dachau. Mr. Florian Hartmann, the mayor of the city of Dachau, will be the next speaker who will present his prize. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear winners, artists, friends in Oświęcim, I am delighted that the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale is being held in spite of the different restrictions related to the pandemic. I am very happy that we are able to meet here online during the opening ceremony. The short message I have decided to present to you is a manifestation of our friendship with the city of Oświęcim. The city of Dachau was delighted to be able to present yet again a special prize of the city of Dachau. I would like to congratulate Marlena Buczek-Smith, the winner of our prize, for her work entitled Fragile. Human rights that are at the very center of this year's edition of the Biennale are very fragile. I have to admit, unfortunately, almost every day we are shown how delicate they are. It is even more important in this context that we are involved both at the political level and the artistic level for human rights. It is in this spirit that I am sending my cordial regards to Poland and other countries from which participants and others are following those events online. Thank you very much.
Niestety nie udało.
Unfortunately, we've not been able to connect with the winner of this prize. Marlena Buczek-Smith, unfortunately, is not online. She was not able to establish a connection this evening. We will pass on the prize to her, and just like before, I would like to thank Mr. Hartmann, the mayor of the city of Dachau. Thank you very much for your participation in the project. Our links to the city of Dachau are very close. The links between Oświęcim and Dachau are close. Also, the cooperation between the counties, the powiat of Oświęcim and the county of Dachau, or district of Dachau, are very close. I would like to now give the floor to the next speaker, Mr. Stefan Livl will be the next speaker on behalf of Dachau County. He's giving us new ideas for excellent cooperation between Oświęcim and Dachau. And the county of Dachau is supporting us in different dimensions at different levels. It's a very special cooperation for those two locations. Mr. Stefan Livl. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on behalf of County of Dachau. I'm delighted we're able to meet in spite of the big distance between us. I'm very glad that we, as the Dachau County, are able to participate in this year's socio-political poster biennale. There were very many excellent works presented as part of the project. I'm greatly impressed by the quality of the work of the artists. In Germany, we often say, picture is more important, is better than 1,000 words. Posters, it's an excellent way to reach the general public in an excellent, fast, swift way. It's an excellent communication tool, but sometimes used also in ways that are not perhaps the ways we want to use it for. But as also the mayor of Dachau has said, we have to fight for democracy around the world, especially today when faced with the pandemic, we have to do even more. I'm delighted that we, as representatives of Dachau County, are able to present the prize to Mr. Lex Drawiński. The district of Dachau prize goes to Mr. Drawiński. There's information, there's the poster. The original, of course, is much better than the one I'm showing to you. I'm very happy that Professor Drawiński is the winner of our prize. I'd be very happy if he could visit us in Dachau. I know he lived for some time in Potsdam, in Berlin. If he were able to visit us in Dachau, I would be very happy. Together with an accompanying person, I would like to invite him to come to Dachau and spend a weekend in our artistic colony to participate in the work of our center and see how we are doing. I do hope his visit will be possible. I would like to show also to him how our Polish-German cooperation is structured, and I would like to meet him in person, of course. All the best, ladies and gentlemen. Stay healthy. Thank you very much. As our messenger knows how to get to Dachau, I hope the messenger has reached Dachau already. I would like to now establish a link to Szczecin. Mr. Lex Drawiński, the winner. Welcome, best regards to all organizers, sponsors, laureates of the Biennale, and I welcome all lovers of posters around the world, in the universe even. I do hope we will meet again in 2 years' time. All the best to everyone. Thank you very much, Mr. Drawiński. All the best. I hope you will be soon in very good shape. And now we are establishing connection to Stuttgart. Mr. Peter Grohmann, member of the jury, member of the Anne Stifter Foundation. He will present the prize of his Anne Stifter Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends in Oświęcim, Auschwitz, the place where the International Socio-Political Poster Biennale is being held. Also, we, Anne Stifter Foundation, Ring-Stiftung Foundation in Stuttgart, we also are happy to be part of the Biennale. I would like to thank the International Youth Meeting Center for organizing this event. I would like to thank all artists who have been participating for many years in this series of biennales. Our prize goes to Magdalena Wosik. The world that looks like a lemon, squeezed out lemon. It looks like this is exactly what we're doing, squeezing out the resources of this world. Populism, other problems around the world. It's even more important for us, for artists, to fight for solidarity, for justice, for a better world, a different world. I thank all participants for participation in this event, and we're sending best regards to Oświęcim. Our both foundations are sending best regards from Stuttgart. I understand that the prize has already reached the winner, and now I give the floor to the laureate, Magdalena Wosik. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. I would like to welcome all participants of the Biennale, those who will visit the exhibition. Congratulations to everyone. Well, I'm part of one of the winners. I'm delighted to be one of the winners of the prizes of the International Biennale. I wish to thank the jury. Thank you very much for appreciating my humor, perhaps black humor. I would like to thank the organizers of the Biennale. Well, it's a formal way to say organizers, but actually the way I see them is people, kind, open, very nice people, and especially, well, they are people working with passion, great passion. I think you deserve the gratitude of all of us. I wish to thank you for making posters alive. I think you help posters stay alive. And posters can scream aloud. Thank you for that. The prize given to my poster is the Anstifter Foundation Prize. When I learned about the fact that I became the winner, I felt as if I stood with them, shoulder to shoulder, supporting the foundation in their activities for the most important values, I think, our common values. Very nice feeling, I must say. What is more, I imagined that my posters perhaps one day will be on the flags, put on the flags, and will be held in our hands during our demonstrations. Well, thank you again, and I hope that, again, those posters, those most important pictures, will be put on the flags of our movement. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the prizes funded by our partners, different academies of fine arts. We are delighted that the academies from Krakow and Katowice, well-known, excellent academies of fine arts in Poland, and they've been part of the project from the very beginning. And now I'd like to give the floor to Professor Andrzej Bednarczyk, rector of the Fine Arts Academy in Krakow. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you very much. I'm greatly honored to be able to be part of this project. Thank you very much to celebrate this very special day together with the organizers of the event, artists, participants. A private, if you allow me, comment. I myself, when I think about social political posters, I consider them very special in my life. The reason is quite normal. Imagine sometimes when I ride on a tram in Krakow, I looked out of the window of the tram thinking about my personal problems perhaps, and from time to time, just split second, I stress split second, I see again, I'm struck sometimes by a poster that I see in the street. It changes my way of thinking perhaps, and then I'm never again able to see the world in the way that I had seen the world before I saw the poster. Great strength, the great power of posters. And the poster of Mr. Treptowski, this great Nie, no in Polish, from 1952, this poster was one of the first works of art that changed my imagination, child's imagination at that time. This is the true power of poster. I'm delighted, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to declare that the prize of the Jan Matejko Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow goes also to Mr. Vladimir Cesler from Belarus. Congratulations, heartfelt congratulations, sir.
Proszę Państwa, mam informację.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been informed that our messenger made it across the border and reached Belarus. We don't have a confirmation from the artist, unfortunately, but I hope he has received the prize. I'm sending my regards to Mr. Cesler. I hope that we will meet next year in Oświęcim and also participate in the next Biennales together. And now Katowice, another Polish city, and I am pleased to welcome the rector of the Academy of Fine Arts in Katowice, Professor Grzegorz Hajnderek. Professor, the floor is yours. Now, the next prize, the prize of the Academy in Katowice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I wish to welcome everyone, all lovers of posters, of art, involved art that is part of our social life. I'm delighted that my Academy of Fine Arts in Katowice as part of the project. Posters in our academy have been always present. It was one of the very strong pillars of our institution. Since I've been part of the academy, there have been many interesting artists, poster artists, who were participating in the life of the academy. Interesting discussions also on political and social posters were organized by our academy. Many different voices could be heard. Some said that perhaps we're coming to the end of this type of poster, but as it turns out, fortunately, this type of poster is very much alive. It's changing somewhat. Perhaps its location is not so much linked to the public space only in the physical sense, but is also becoming part of different new media, social media, and the internet. This type of visual message is still very much needed. There's great interest by artists and by the general public. Posters today are not very often perhaps prepared upon the request of different institutions, but usually these are artist comments, spontaneous comments prepared by the artist. So it's closer as a result to art. It's closer to art and design, perhaps. This is the way we perceive posters. These are the posters that can be seen tonight during the International Socio-Political Poster Biennale. An excellent exhibition. Its form, polite, perhaps, approach with a classically understood exhibition, but nevertheless, I think such exhibition is a great opportunity to see a full, broad spectrum of different political and social events that we have been experiencing over the last 2 years. I believe that this special sense, very deep sense of the event is manifested in this way. The idea is to show posters, making comments referring to current events, also referring to the different threats and contemporary problems. I've been thinking about what to say, what kind of message to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, and one sentence came to my mind, so important from me from the very beginning of this year, when it was presented by Mr. Turski during the celebrations of the 75th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp. His well-known now 11th commandment, "Thou shalt not be indifferent." I think that this is exactly what socio-political posters do to us. They do not make it possible for us to be indifferent, to remain conformist. We have to be active. Let me, ladies and gentlemen, to thank organizers for making this event possible. I thank artists for participating in this event, and I hope it's going to be continued in the following years. Now, I would just like to present the verdict of our jury. The prize of the rector of the Academy of Fine Arts in Katowice goes to Yang Xiang from China for "Stop Talking Nonsense." Congratulations. Best regards to everyone, and let us meet in real life, hopefully, during the next edition. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our messenger has crossed the Great Wall of China already. But again, we have some connection problems. We are not able to establish a link to the artist, but we're sending our congratulations. And again, as we've just heard, hopefully we will meet in real life during the next editions of the Biennale. We're coming to the end slowly. Still, we've got Józef Howard Prize, awarded by the rector of the University of Silesia in Katowice. Professor Ryszard Koziołek goes to Katarzyna Nachman from Poland for her poster Prisoner, And the award of the President of the Association of Polish Artists and Designers, Dr. Janusz Janowski, goes to Mr. Dominik Rug from Poland for his poster, Polish Democracy. I'm glad. This is an excellent also surprise for us, because we've got a connection with Mr. Janowski on Zoom, and I'm delighted to give you the floor, sir. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the organizers for being able to organize the exhibition in such difficult circumstances. I'm quite impressed also by the technology that we're able to use to be present together during this event. I would like to congratulate winners of all prizes tonight. Special congratulations go to the winner of our prize, the prize of the Polish artists and designers. This celebration, this event tonight has been going for some quite time, so I wouldn't like to take much more of your precious time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me very briefly, say that, yes, I agree that posters, the way in which, in a visual way, posters reach directly so many in the general public, poster as a result plays a very important role in the contemporary world, in my view. Today we live in the time where people seem to read less and less, are less in depth perhaps in learning about the surrounding reality. People are perhaps trusting more and more in brief messages reaching them. So in these circumstances, I think pictures and posters play an even more important role. This is the role, of course, that can be both positive and negative. I wish to encourage all artists to continue their work, to make further attempts preparing the posters, trying to reach the general public in the work they do through the posters they prepare. I encourage them to send messages not only to perhaps narrow groups of people, but hopefully they are going to reach a very general audience, so that those messages, so that the pictures, the posters are able to become part of our everyday life. I do hope that the poster that we have decided to grant award to the author, Mr. Janowski, Polish Democracy, I think that it is related to very much to this message, the message that everyone has the right to have their voice heard, also those that understand, see the world in a somewhat different way. This is the message I would like to finish my brief intervention with, thanking again the organizers and congratulating all winners of the different prizes. Thank you very much. As Katarzyna Nachman already said a few words earlier, but let me ask again, would Katarzyna like to take the floor again? Katarzyna, there's a chance for you to say a few words. I hope you can hear me. Let me thank you again. It's already my second prize. Thank you very much. It's a unique distinction for me. Again, I would like to thank all my teachers, professors from the University of Silesia and the Arts Institute in Cieszyn. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got here in front of me the catalogue of the 8th International Socio-Political Poster Biennale. The publication of Biennale that accompanies each Biennale is our good tradition. Another excellent tradition is that this catalogue is presented to visitors, those coming to see the exhibition here in the International Youth Meeting Center or in other locations in Poland and abroad. It's a unique year this time, and the exhibition we are opening here in the International Youth Meeting Center, actually it was opened already in mid-October, but it was not possible to invite guests, unfortunately. But still we decided to prepare the catalogue and also to make it possible also for visitors to visit us in the following months. I do hope that in the first quarter of 2021 it will be possible for you to visit us in our center and also to receive the catalogue. We will be delighted to present it to you, ladies and gentlemen. But even if it were not to be possible, and if you would like to receive the catalogue to make it part of your libraries, please contact our institution. You can do it by phone, send us an email. We will be delighted to send this catalogue to you, ladies and gentlemen. It has been said several times that this is the special moment, the culmination of our ceremony tonight. And let me say that now perhaps it's going to be the culmination of the culmination, because I would like to encourage you to see the very posters that have been presented here in Oświęcim. Now the posters will be presented, those that have become part of the exhibition and those that have been awarded.
Proszę Państwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our good tradition of the openings of the different editions of the Biennale. It was our reception. Marysia Matua and her friends used to serve beef stroganoff, 13 special cookies. Well, we wouldn't like, ladies and gentlemen, to take this pleasure from you. This was always an excellent attraction of our meetings. For this reason, I would like to ask again our messenger to take our pretzels to everybody. I think you will find there all the different flavors that you might perhaps remember from your previous visits to our youth meeting center. Bon appétit. We are past the culmination. It is time for some closing words. I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who has made this project possible. Let me thank again our strategic partner, the International Auschwitz Committee. I wish to thank the Rosa Luxemburg Foundation, the city of Oświęcim, the Starost of Oświęcim County, the city of Dachau County. I wish to thank Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Krakow. I thank Anstifter, the Anstifter Foundation, Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow, the Academy of Fine Arts in Katowice. I thank the Silesian University and the Association of Polish Artists and Designers. This project, as well as many other projects that have been organized in these difficult months, they would have been impossible were it not for our well-proven partners from the world of business. I thank Olmak & Co, Ostrotherm, Rebał, Meta Systemy Magazynowe, Ipsen Logistic, Kente SA Group, and I thank everyone who, in an indirect or direct way, who has been supporting our initiative. Concluding, I would like to say thank you to the whole team in the International Youth Meeting Center, but especially I would like to thank here Joanna Klęczar-Deodat, Bożena Grzywa, and Ryszard Krupnik and Piotr Rusinek. Thank you very much. You've been our support administrative center, also bookkeeping support. Thanks to their work, we've been able to bring this project to its fruition. I thank the producers of this event, Rafał Wędrychowski and Marcin Bellert. They've been working together with the SCFV. I wish to thank interpreters Piotr Żuwak, Bartosz Walicek, and Bartosz Krajka, and Marcin Bellert. The animation has been prepared by Krystyna Mistrz-Didi. Thank you very much for your support. I wish you a very good evening. It took us longer than we expected. I'm sorry for that, but I think it was a great pleasure for everyone to be here together. It was certainly a great pleasure for me to be with you on this Friday, December evening. Christmas just around the corner. I wish good health to everybody. Stay healthy, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and good night.